o'clock, we will get this started. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. My name is Jim Schmutz. I'm the president and CEO for Special Olympics Maryland. We've got a great evening planned here, so we'll get it started. It's the fifth and final evening of our virtual Torch Run Athlete Speaker Series. RJ Nealon will be our MC this evening. RJ is a Special Olympics Maryland athlete from the Upper Shore program. RJ grew up as an active athlete and an avid sports fan. He attended the University of Alabama, where he achieved his degree in sports journalism. Having graduated from Alabama, he did an internship at ESPN, where he forged a lasting friendship with on-air talent Kevin Nagandi, with whom he retains a relationship today. You can see some of RJ's content on ESPN.com. RJ's continuing to pursue his career in journalism, working at the Special Olympics International Office in Washington, D.C., and the Communications Department for Special Olympics North America. We are excited to have RJ wrap this up with us this week. He served as the MC 2 other nights this week and was a moderator as well. RJ, thanks for being with us again this evening, and I'm going to turn it over to you right now.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you all for joining us tonight. Tonight, you will hear from Special Olympics Maryland athlete Monique Matthews. Monique or Mo bursted into the athlete leadership scene in 2018. Since being selected for the 2018 USA Games in Seattle, Monique has become an advocate for herself and all Special Olympic Maryland athletes. She's a track and field athlete from Baltimore County, but she has also been a Brave in the Attempt speaker and an MC at the Summer State Games, standing beside my co-host Sam Livingston and myself. She may be the last speaker of the week, but she's ready to leave an impact. Here's the incredible Monique Matthews.
Hello, my name is Monique Matthews. I'm a Baltimore County track and field athlete. I always will remember my first race. It was 2013 Special Olympics Summer Games at Towson University. It was a hot day to be on the track. I was an anchor for our 4x100 relay race. As I settled into lane 2, I see that my teammate is out of position. I tried to let the volunteer know. Before I knew it, the starting pistol went off and the race began. My team got DQ'd. I remember my teammates saying it was all their fault and everyone was mad at them. I told them this was not the case and there's always next year. I was supportive of my teammate, but I felt down and sad. I knew that moving forward, I would train harder to ensure that I would not experience that feeling again. Track season is over now, and my focus has changed to other things. One evening, I am getting off of work, and I see that my email says, "Congratulations, you have been chosen to go to the 2014 USA Games in Princeton, New Jersey." I go home and tell my mother. She said, "Congratulations. I am feeling proud despite my DQ. My individual performance has earned me a spot on Team Maryland." A week later, we get news that suddenly my grandmother gets sick and I am needed at home. I had to bow out of my commitment to the team and the games. All of this excitement that I had for New Jersey turned 180 degrees. I was thinking, there goes my shot. The shot I worked so hard for, gone, never to be seen again. I was heartbroken, but I understood. Family comes first. I dedicated myself to my team, and we worked together for the next 3 years, improving our performance and techniques. In 2017, I received another email. It was my coach congratulating me for making the 2018 USA Games in Seattle, Washington. I thought to myself, yes, another opportunity. I told my mother, and she said that it was rare for people to get selected twice to attend such a high level event, such as the USA Games. I spent the next year training harder than I ever did before. I made it to training camp and I set my goals. I poured everything into this opportunity because I doubted a third chance would happen. It paid off. In July of 2018, I landed in Seattle, Washington to represent my state. I had a great time and got to meet athletes from other states. I ended up in the top 10 of my division. I came home with ribbons around my neck and a new sense of pride. This Special Olympics athlete got a second chance and showed perseverance.
You're muted, Jim.
All right. Sorry about that at the end. Again, we had somehow that Joe Wu's screen got shared, but you got the gist of it. So we're going to go ahead and move on, RJ. You're good.
Awesome. So being a competitive person, I'm sure the pandemic has been tough without any sports. What have you been doing to keep yourself active and competitive during this time?
Hold on, she was muted.
Sorry,
There you go.
sorry about that. I was experiencing technical difficulty on my side. Okay, so so competitive, no, not really, but active, yes. I have been competing. I mean, not competing. Doing the move meetings. I've been leading a couple of move meetings every Friday. I recently did one with our friends from Aerotech. And for those of you that don't know what the move meeting is, it's basically a 30-minute workout where we all can log in and join together, which RJ should join.
So you're a track and field athlete. So what are you looking forward to the most when competition does return?
I know a lot of people say that once they get a taste of it, they want more. I went to Seattle. Now I want to go to Orlando for the 2022 games in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, speaking of that, do you have any goals for this upcoming season?
Actually, I'm working on a goal now. I didn't even know I was doing it, but I'm actually losing weight. That was one of them. I'm actually down at least 16 pounds so far. So when I first started my season with Special Olympics, I was 204, and now I'm down to 184. So that's one of my big goals, and believe me, it's not easy. Temptation is there, but I just work hard and just stick to it, I guess.
Now, I've seen you compete before at the 2018 USA Games in Seattle. So what is your favorite memory of those games?
Ooh, RJ, that is a hard question, but I do have an answer for you. My favorite moment was when we went through the tunnel with the terrible towels, and then we swung them real hard. That was a memorable moment to me because I'm there representing my state, and it was also like a team-oriented moment. Like that was Team Maryland. That was a team I was a part of.
And what ribbons and medals did you earn?
I actually have them around my neck. I got 2 6th-place ribbons and a 7th-place ribbon. I got them in a women's 3K. I also received one for javelin, and I also received one for the 100-meter sprint.
You've accomplished a lot in Special Olympics, more than a lot of other athletes, but take me back to your first moment when you first joined Special Olympics Maryland.
Ooh, RJ. You're taking me back to when I was 22 or 25. My first experience was actually awesome because it gave me a platform. Because when I was in high school, I really wasn't able to speak up for myself, and I wasn't able to basically have my own voice. And thanks to Special Olympics, the movement and the Choose to Include movement, it is very awesome to meet athletes like you and Sam and all my other fellow athletes that are on this call. We're one big dysfunctional family.
And I know you have a really strong relationship with Chief Hyatt. Tell us about that.
Yes. Okay. So I am the LETR ambassador for about, I believe, 2 years now. Funny story about that. I was running with her with the Flame of Hope, and we were running about 30 feet, and we were both holding the Flame of Hope. Chief Hyatt, I hope you are not on this call. But I didn't expect for her to be so strong running. And I'm sitting there holding the Flame of Hope, and it's doing this. It's tilting. And I'm like, okay, straight. And then every time we would run, it would keep tilting. And we got the shot, but it was like, oh my gosh, what if it tilted? Oh my gosh. So that was my connection. And also with Chief Officer Tyler Rivers, I have a strong bond with them as well. I also plunged with them for the police plunge. So it feels like the connection is really, really strong. Oh, and Chief Hyatt and I do have a super plunge team called the Frosty Sirens. Yeah, Frosty Blue Sirens. But we do need some money, but let's go back to what we're talking about now, which is the LETR. So that's the kind of connection that we have right now, because if it wasn't for Jim Smith introducing me to them, the connection wouldn't be as strong as it is.
Yeah, take me back to that. What does that mean to you to have Jim Smuts introduce you to Chief Hyatt and build that relationship?
It was, I'll say, shocking at first because he could pick any other athlete outside of the state of Maryland. But for him to choose me, I guess we had a real good rapport with each other. Like, we were actually speaking with each other. We were planning on, doing fundraisers, before COVID and everything hit. And I was going around thanking their sponsors and everything. And it was just an awesome experience all around.
And before we open it up for other athletes to ask you questions, I want to ask one of the most important ones. What does inclusion mean to you?
Inclusion means family. It means we're like one big dysfunctional family. Because of your disability, your color, your ethnicity or race, we include you anyway. And actually, I have a Choose to Include bracelet on right now, if you guys can see it. So I live the movement, I breathe the movement, I'm wearing the movement on my wrist. So everybody just needs to choose to include.
That's great to hear. And you build incredible friendships through Special Olympics. So I think, without further ado, I think Elena Camacho has her hand raised. So I think she should be the first one to ask you a question.
Alrighty.
Hi, Monique. So,
Hey.
Great speech. I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
What does it mean for you to see more female athlete involvement in Special Olympics, not just with them being athletes, but going on to be athlete leaders? And my second question is, if any female Olympic track star, who would you say is your favorite, and what would you do if you could meet one of them?
Ooh. Okay, so your first question was about the female, right? Athlete empowerment, right? So about the first half of your question, yes, I feel like we need more female representation in sport because I feel like there's not enough. And I feel like when people think of Special Olympics, they think of it being a male-dominated field, which it's not. And when they see me, I try to inspire like little girls to say, oh, well, I can do it, you can do it too, because they always think just because you're a female, you really can't do anything like track or swimming or kayaking or any physical demanding sport. So I do not have a female runner, a favorite female runner. I have a male female runner, favorite runner. That would be Justin Gatlin. If you guys don't know who that is, Elena, I probably
I
think
know.
you do. He was labeled as the fastest man alive. So if you Google him, he should appear. But he was my inspiration. I believe he did his 100 meter in 2.5 seconds flat. So that'll be my goal, to get that speed.
And what would you say if you got to meet Justin?
Oh my gosh, I would scream like a little schoolgirl. I would scream like a little schoolgirl and just like pick his brain. You know, like, what do you do to, stay in shape? What do you do to get that speed? What do you eat? What do you, like, pick his brain literally? So
I think you should challenge him to a run.
I mean, he would smoke me. That is the fastest man alive that ran a 2.5 second flat 100 meter sprint.
Monique, I have a follow-up question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you talked about female representation. If you were to give advice to a young girl who wanted to compete in Special Olympics for the first time, what would that advice be?
Ooh, that's a good question, RJ. I would tell them to do it, because I have a saying, let your haters be your motivators. So people that tell you can't do it, just prove to them that you can do it. Because at the end of the day, if you love to do a sport, my sport actually started in high school. I was a distance runner. And then from there, I went to the 100, and then I went to Special Olympics. So it was kind of like that. If they have a platform or a motivation, I would just say stick to it and do it.
I think Joe Wu has a question, so let's unmute him so he can ask you his.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Hey, Joe, just don't share your screen, okay?
Hey, Jim. Sorry about that. I'm pushing wrong button. I'm pushing wrong button, my buddy. Okay, Monique. I have a big, huge question to ask you. You like to compete the
Yes,
World
Mojo Jojo. What is it?
I'm questioning you. Are you like to compete World Summer Game in Germany? This is my big question.
Ooh.
This big
Yes,
question.
that would be one of my actual goals, is to get to World, because I was trying so hard in Seattle, but I guess I just have to train
Try
twice as hard to get there. Yep, train hard, blood, sweat, and tears.
Please try best, okay?
Yep, sure will.
Okay.
Monique, if you had what's your favorite sport outside of Special Olympics?
Football.
Favorite team, I'm guessing, is the Ravens.
Ravens all day. I am a Ravens junkie, Ravens fan. I basically I think half of my wardrobe is Ravens.
Why do you like the Ravens so much?
I guess growing up, with the legends like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Todd Heap, like that was the core of the Ravens. And I guess, to answer your question, it's just I like their teamwork. I like the way they play football. They do it clean. They don't do it, hurt other teams. They just do it to win. They don't do it out of spite.
So you named a lot of old school players. Do you have a current favorite player?
Ooh. That would be a toss-up between Lamar Jackson and I'm going to say Nick Boyle, tight end.
RJ, I think you stumped her.
I know.
Lamar Jackson
So
is
if
a
I had
safe
to
answer.
choose, yeah.
That's right. You invited
Yeah.
Nick Boyle to your plunge, right?
Yeah, he actually
remember.
came. Yeah, he didn't jump in with us, but he came with his wife. So
That's right. I actually got a question for you, actually. What's your like Special Olympics bucket list besides the World Games? I mean, sure, the World Games and U.S. Games is everybody's thing. I just want to know, do you have anything else besides that on your bucket list? Like get another gold
Probably
medal or
not.
something?
I mean, probably not, because I'm not doing over the edge. I'm not climbing over 16-story building like you and Adam Hayes. I'm not doing that. I'm not going out.
You can be there
16
just to
stories with a
support
chicken
us. You don't
outfit.
have to like go or.
I know, but I'm just saying I'm not going over 16 stories. But my goal is to actually get better physically and stronger mentally, because people don't realize that track is, I'll say, a physical sport, but it's also a mental sport as well. Sam, you know this. It's like if you do something wrong, you're your own worst critic. So I think that's what my biggest goal would be, to work on my mental and physical strength.
So
And I actually have
Monique,
hold on, RJ. Actually, go ahead.
right now you're a track and field athlete, but have you ever considered trying other sports out?
Yes. I believe I'm looking into maybe soccer or basketball. I'm trying to figure out what other sport I can do besides track, but I am looking for other outlets.
And why
Basketball's a fun
soccer
one to
and
do.
basketball?
Soccer, and I'll say soccer because I've never played it, and I've never played it before, and I want to learn a new sport. And with basketball, I've played it before, but I just want to build up my endurance, I'll say. So, yeah.
And Willie wants to know why track and field is your most important sport.
Why is it my most important sport?
Yes.
Okay, Willie, to answer your question, track and field is my most important sport because it's actually the first sport in Special Olympics that I actually, I'll say, tried, because when I transitioned from high school, I was a distance runner. Then I went to, I believe, cross country. And from there, I guess me doing it in high school transitioned from me doing it to track. So I guess it was just like an even flow or fit for me to actually do it.
I think Danielle has a great question. You want to unmute her, Sam?
I was gonna do it anyways, even though you already PM'd me.
Hi, Monique. I have one question for you.
Hello.
What's your favorite event, especially in Why it so inspire you?
What's your favorite event? You mean like what's your favorite event at track? You mean?
So what's your favorite event in Special Olympics? Why it inspire you?
Are you asking what inspires me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's asking, what's your favorite Special Olympics event and what inspires you in Special Olympics? Like, why does it inspire you?
Okay. Thank you, RJ, because I didn't understand her question. So my event that inspires me is the plunge, because jumping in the freezing cold water, I never thought I would like, but I do. And what inspires me to do Special Olympics is, like I said before, choose to include. Everybody's different. Everybody has different skill levels, abilities, and it's just an awesome organization to be a part of.
I couldn't agree more.
And
Actually, go ahead, RJ.
Elena wants to know, what was your experience like the first time you plunged?
Ooh, Sam would know this. It was freezing. It was cold. It was, because I remember my first plunge. I actually got up to my waist. I think, RJ, you were there with Adam Hayes, right? To greet me when I got out. Yeah.
I was.
I think
I
you
was.
What year was
Yeah,
that?
you were. That was last year, Sam.
Oh yeah,
After
duh.
we were doing like Region 98 Rock, yeah. And then I had a towel wrapped around me, and I remember you saying this to me, RJ. You said, "Are you nuts?" And it wasn't the fact that you saying that to me, like, it made me laugh, because the reason that I wanted to do it was because I never plunged before. And I previously plunged with the police department, so I knew what the water would feel like. And of course, like a chicken, I just stuck my toe in. I said, "Woo!" I plunged, and then the following day, I got up to my waist. So it was freezing cold fun, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Would you ever consider being a super plunger?
Actually, I'm doing it this year if COVID allows it.
And what are you looking forward to most if you are able to super plunge?
Just the experience, and this will be my first time super plunging. So yeah. So if
Plus you get to
anybody
go in the
that's a
hot
super
tubs after.
plunger has any advice, you can send it my way, please.
Plus you get to go in the
I know
nice
it's
hot tubs
every
after, right?
hour. Yeah, like every hour on the hour, but you tie it. It's so nice. She said, "You don't have to go on all 24 times, but I'm gonna do my best to go on all 24."
Yeah.
So
Joe's got a question.
you spoke on your athletic goals, but do you have any athlete leadership goals you'd want to accomplish in the coming years?
Ooh, I would probably say be a health messenger, or be I think a health messenger. The health messenger would be my next goal, because I would find it real interesting to see how I can actually, doing that, because everything that was Special Olympics, I won't use the word excel. I've been awesome in, and I just want to challenge myself to see if I can do it.
And I think Joe Wu raised his hand again.
Tim's also got a question too.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go to Joe and then unmute Tim right after Joe.
Yeah, he's actually got a pretty good question.
Me, forgot his name again. Monique. Okay, Monique. How do you like the super punch?
He said, how do I like it?
Yeah.
I didn't do it yet, Joe. I'm a first-time plunger. I've never done it before.
Come on.
So I really couldn't answer that question.
Joe, you've done it
I couldn't
before.
really answer that question.
Come on, Monique.
I've never super plunged before. Next year will be my first time.
Okay, I'll try to coach you, okay?
Yeah, I would appreciate it.
Yeah,
Joe would be a great coach for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Me, somebody.
Tim's got a pretty good question, actually.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know what the super plunge is.
Okay, so the super plunge is basically like Adam Hayes does and Chief Hyatt do. They go in the water every hour on the hour 24 times.
Oh, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
When did they start the super plunge? I actually don't remember.
I'm not sure, but I am doing it for the first time next year.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Tim, have you ever plunged yet?
Did you hear the question?
What?
I can ask again. Have you ever plunged yet?
Have you ever plunged yet?
No, I haven't.
Never too late.
I was trained to do that.
Well,
hey,
I
Monique.
wasn't trained to do it. Right, RJ.
What type of activities and hobbies do you do outside of Special Olympics?
I'm actually an essential worker, so I really don't have like hobbies. I just like look at TV or do games on my phone, like puzzle games and Scrabble and Bowling King and stuff like that. So
now you say you're an essential worker. What do you do?
Okay, so I work for Erickson Living Charlestown. It's a living like a retirement home for the senior citizens. So from the time we found out about COVID up until now, I was working. So basically, pre-COVID, I was a line server. I was maybe like a busser, a seater, kind of like an all-around person. And then now, basically, we're giving them the option to bag their food and eat it in the dining room, and then we wipe the tables and chairs off after that. And after we give them a number, we have to sit there and wipe them off as well, just to keep it sterile and everything. So.
And what's that mean to you to be able to be an essential worker, especially during these times?
It just gives me, I'll say, something to do, and it just proves that people with disabilities can work. Because I have one, but it's a mild case of one. So.
Elena just raised her hand, so we're going to unmute her and let her ask you a question.
Okay.
My question for you, Monique, is if you could have a conversation with yourself before you started Special Olympics, what would you tell yourself?
Actually, a really good question.
Ooh.
Elena, I think
That's
you
a
stumped
good
her.
question. She didn't stump me. She just got me to think.
I know. I'm just
What
like
I
joking
would
around.
tell like my former self is never give up, never quit, never doubt yourself, never doubt your skills, never doubt
Amen
what
to
you
that.
can do and what you can't do.
You can also
And
tell him to be brave in the attempt.
pretty much. I like that little slide, Sam.
Mhm.
And also be brave in the attempt, and also never to second guess yourself, because a
Really
lot of
good
people
question,
second guess
Elena.
themselves.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was.
Timothy has a great question. How can you represent your state in Orlando?
Ooh, good one, Tim. Let's see. How can I represent my state in Orlando? So I am a track and field athlete, so that's how I would represent my state. I would represent the athletic side of it with the women's 3K and the javelin and the 100-meter run. So I would just represent the running side of my state.
Yeah. Or you could be there as part of the media team, I guess,
Yeah.
if anything. I know Kayla had a question as well.
Let's unmute Kayla.
Thanks a lot, Sam. You made me forget what my question was.
You put it in the chat.
A long time ago.
You asked about the hobby.
All right.
And it was another one she put in the chat.
No, she said one hobby that I know of.
Who is your inspiration?
That's what it was.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. I'm gonna say the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena.
And why are they your inspiration?
Because they're females doing a male-dominated sport. And they also prove that females can do anything males can do. Because if you look at tennis, it's mainly a male-dominated sport, and they just show what the importance of females being represented in sports.
And I think Willie has a great question about athletics, kind of, really. What is the most important meal that you like to eat?
Ooh. I think me and Michael Hoyt have the same type of eating plan, like spaghetti or pasta, or Subway is a very good option. But what I eat is mainly, I won't say heavy items, but something I know that will hold me over, like spaghetti or meat or like any type of protein. I take Gatorade with me to the track. So.
And how do you mentally prepare for competition?
Music, and me getting in a positive frame of mind.
What's your top song on your playlist currently at the moment?
Ooh. I'm a big Eminem fan. Use Yourself. 8
Okay.
Mile.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen the movie.
8 Mile, right?
Yep.
It's a great
Because
movie.
if you listen to the lyrics, it's a certain line where he says something about palms are sweaty. My knees weak, arms are sweaty, and mom's spaghetti. And I'm
It used
like,
to be the
that's
Ravens
how I
walk-on
feel.
song, I think.
Right. Because that's how I feel. Like my palms get sweaty, I get nervous, but that's the song that normally would hype me up.
I actually got a quick question for you before I forget. You got to go to the White House and meet the Big Show. Could you explain like what it was like to meet like a big, and also John C. McGinley? But what was it like
Yeah.
to like meet those guys in person? You were
At
starstruck?
first, yeah, but at first, Justin Hunzinger and I did not know that was the Big Show. And then when he turned around, he stood up. Because on TV, he looks a lot taller than what he does in real life.
He's like 7 feet at least.
Right. Well, on TV, he looks about 8. So Justin and I went, oh my gosh, that's the Big Show. No, I went, oh my gosh, that's the Big Show. And I'm like, oh, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? I was the biggest dork fan, wrestling dork you could ever think of. John McKinley, I knew from Scrubs. If you guys haven't watched it, you need to watch it. It is hilarious. Meeting him was just basically like, thank you, Kelly. I am a nerd. I would say on the wrestling side, it was cool to meet the Big Show. And on the Scrub side, it was kind of cool to meet John McCurley because those are the top 2 shows that I've watched. For Scrubs, I've seen like maybe 1 or 2 episodes of it. So.
Yeah, they're like global ambassadors.
Monique, what was it like to meet Nick Boyle at
That's right.
Play 60?
Alexa, really? You were there?
You, me, and Chris Stone were interviewing.
And you too, Sam.
I said, you, me, and Chris.
Was with us too.
You, me, and the DJ.
So there was a inside joke that Alexa. Can I say the inside joke?
It's up to you. It was your joke.
Okay. So basically, Alexa and I met Nick Boyle, and the joke that I said was, "Hey, let's go meet Boyleland." and so I think I said it in front of Alexa and I said it in front of Kira. And the meet Nick Boyle was actually cool because I actually got to read my speech in front of them.
Yeah, your Brave and the Attempt speech.
The first one, yes, the very first one. And so they actually applauded me in that. They actually stood, I think, beside me or behind me. I'm not sure. But it actually was awesome to actually see what they do off the field.
Yeah, you got to meet, I remember, it was a lot of them.
So Monique, earlier in the presentation, you mentioned that Nick Boyle was one of your favorite current Raven players. So what was the experience like being able to speak right in front of him?
RJ, so now I see how you feel when you interview athletes. It was kind of like I was trying not to be a super fan or a super nerd, but it was like, oh my gosh, Nick Boyle is in front of me. Oh my gosh, Nick Boyle is in front of me.
Super nice guy too.
And, right, he is, and he is a lot taller than people think he is. The pads make him short.
Monique, I think we're all that way. I still get excited and become a fan when I interview some people, so that's really very normal.
Danielle's got a question in the chat. She wants to know what your favorite event is in Special Olympics. I think she means like track event this time.
If she means track event, I'm a sprinter. RJ seen me run.
Me too.
RJ saw me run at Seattle.
Why do you like sprinting more than long distance?
Because it gives you like that jolt. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like your heart's beating and it's like you're waiting for that gun to go off And as soon as you hear the gun, it's like, boom. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like you're shooting off like a rocket, and it's like an adrenaline rush. And so that's why I like sprinting so much, because it's an adrenaline rush. And it gets my heart rate up. Like, it was just about the stamina. It's like excitement and stamina. You're waiting for that gun to go off. You train hard. You're looking at your opponents, like in the back of your mind, like, okay, I could be her. I could be her. The one beside me might give me problems. Like, you're going through your head trying to size up your competition, and that's what the excitement is about sprinting to me.
So Kayla wants to know, who helped you write your speech?
I'll say I wrote it myself, but I had a couple of tweaks. A couple of people like helped me tweak it to meet the maximum, but that was basically all me. So that was my story. And RJ, I think you were there when I wrote my first speech, my very first one, I think.
I'm not sure if I was. I don't recall.
Yeah.
Right, but there was an opening where I go, hi, my name is Monique Matthews. I'm 5'5", 200 pounds soaking wet, and I could barely lift my fingers. And it was a certain part in there that talked about Seattle. I only talked about it for a brief second. So that's what made me want to write about Seattle, because that showed perseverance. Because the first time I did not know what I was going to write at all. Like, my brain was like mush. And I'm like, I went back to my first speech. I'm like, Seattle. So basically, I had a couple of people tweak it. Kayla, you did not help me tweak it. I would say some of my fellow athletes. I'll give maybe Jason Schrimmel credit. I should give him credit, shouldn't I, Sam? I should be nice.
Yeah, he's our boss.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason Schrimmel is one of them. So without him and his amazing team.
So Alexa says you're a very talented writer. So I'm a
I
writer
couldn't agree
myself.
more.
So I want to ask
Okay.
why you love writing.
It just gives me an outlet, kind of like you. It's like if I don't know something and if I have to report on it, I'm going to give you like the detail of it and go word for word. It's like I started with poetry. So from poetry, that's when my love of writing started. Because I didn't even know I had the gift of writing until I actually wrote my first poem. And so basically my love of writing started from poetry.
Who's your favorite poet?
Maya Angelou.
And
Yes.
why?
It's just, with her poetry, to me, it makes sense. It just, oh yes, and I did write the winning poetry slam. Thanks, Elena.
Oh, I want to hear it one day.
Yeah. So it's basically my gift of writing came from poetry, and Maya Angelou actually inspired me because it's just her grasp to get to you. Like, she'll say a line and then you'll go, wait a second, what does that mean? And then you'll stop to think about it. But as you're reading the book, you think of that one line, you know what I'm talking about, Sam? That one particular sentence in the book that you can't get out of your head. And that's what she is to me. It's like one particular line that's in my head the whole time I'm reading the book.
So I'd like another athlete to ask.
Willie asked a pretty good question in the chat earlier. He wanted to know Monique, what's your favorite exercise when you're on the movement meetings?
Oh, really killing me.
Especially
Jesus,
since he hosted one today.
Right, I have all cardio, Willie. Willie, I am so sorry. I missed it. I am so sorry.
Okay.
My favorite one would probably be the plank.
I was about to say you could give Ben Varga credit, but he's not on here.
Yeah, I would give him credit, but he's not on here. So, yeah, so Ben Varga and I actually came up with a workout plan. So basically, in the piece, I know it showed me working out with a trainer. That was actually my sponsor, Parisi. So actually, we were doing like planks and like push-ups and crunches, basically everything you would hate for a fat person, like big. So he would make me do a plank, and he's like, wait, no. Make your body straight. If your body's straight, then you feel it. So that's what the plank does for me. It actually helps me straighten out my body. Because if you think about it, when we sit, see how Sam is sitting right now? Guys,
Yeah. Go ahead and give me the example.
And he was sitting. Like, I'm just saying because I do it too, because sometimes I'll go like this and not realize I'm slouching. And then if I go like this, it reminds me of the plank because my back is straight up. I'm just saying, Sam, you're like right in front of me.
Thanks. I know David's got a question, so I'm going to mute him.
Yeah.
Senor Godoy.
Hello, Monique.
Hi, David.
My question is, I actually had two questions.
Okay.
My first question is, I know that you are a big wrestling fan. If you can close your eyes for one moment and imagine that you are with all the big wrestling stars and superstars, and you imagine doing a fundraising for the Special Olympics, what do you tell all the superstars to help raise money for the Special Olympics? What are you going to tell the superstars to help you raise money to Special Olympics?
For Special Olympics? I think Big Show was a global messenger, am I correct?
Yeah, Big Show as well. I think Becky Lynch as well.
Yeah, so I would probably pull those two out and just have them explain what they see, because I was with Big Show on Hill Day, and I've heard him say, I've never met so many inspiring athletes. I actually heard him say that.
That's something you don't get from the Big Show very often.
I know. And he was saying, I think with a, go ahead, David.
And then my second question will be, because you're a runner and you like to run, could you be a mentor to other athletes who are starting on training for to do track and running on the field?
Dang you, David, you stole my question.
I think Sam experienced this, but all the new runners, I'm always the first to introduce myself to them because I don't want them to come into an environment where they feel like they can't fit in and nobody's like, because imagine, I know my first day I was nervous.
Yeah, we were both nervous, definitely.
Yeah. And Sam and I looked like we were like, and both of us drank a whole bottle of juice that day. And then the porta potties were like literally right down the track. And Sam and I were like, okay, bye. And
I remember, the only thing I remember about my first year at track was the heat stroke that I got that time.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, yes, I would be a mentor to runners in general, especially females, because with females, I think you all know Brianna Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Baltimore County. So I kind of, I won't say mentored her, but I kind of like showed her examples. And that's why her stride got a little wider, because when she ran, I think you noticed it too, Sam, her strides were a little shorter. So like little things like that, I would just coach people from.
Yeah.
Thank you, Monique.
You're welcome, David.
Joe's got another question. Joe Blue's got a lot of good questions tonight.
No, because you know why he gets to pick with me tonight. That's why.
That's right. You know, Jason tell me, you guys, in case you guys go to the join M3, go to the Orlando, Florida, they just have
Mhm.
in case you compete again, cannot join the meeting. The rule. Jason say that. And Jason told me before.
Right, but you never know, Joe, because I had a second chance. You never know.
No. I said you join our meeting, go to the Orlando vacation, and go to join meeting. You cannot compete again. You can go to with us, go to meeting, go to the Orlando. Because you compete is all those questions.
Thanks,
Oh, okay.
Jim.
Wait, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Okay?
thanks. I didn't know that. Okay.
Elena's actually
Something
got
new
a
I
really
learned from
good
Mojo
question.
Jojo.
Elena's actually got a really good question. I think it's time to unmute her for this. This is actually a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
So Monique, you know how there's every year there's the Baltimore Marathon Running Festival? Have you
Uh-huh.
ever considered running a marathon or even a half marathon?
No. No.
You could always do the
No.
tunnel run.
No. Was a new singleton? What? No.
Monique,
No.
would you ever consider running a marathon if somebody would to run with you?
Okay. I would consider it, yes, but I would have to be in better shape than what I am right now to do it.
Would you run it if it became a Special Olympics event?
A marathon.
Like a qualifier.
Probably not.
So if Monique, if there's one sport that Special Olympics doesn't have, but you would like to see it in Special Olympics, what sport would that be?
Boxing.
Why boxing?
Interesting one to choose from. Did not see that coming.
No, because I know a lot of people have well, I know for me, I'm a boxing junkie besides football. And then we could probably get like, you know, those little big donkey, like, you know what I'm talking about, Sam, those big like sock and boppers.
Yeah,
like,
you mean like the yeah. Rock and robots?
And then yeah.
Monique, you say you're a boxing fan. Are you excited for the Lomachenko Lopez fight?
Oh, yes, sir. I might be looking at that one. That's a Baltimore native right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is a Baltimore native, so I will be looking at that fight very carefully.
Yeah. I actually got one more question for you, but I just lost my train of thoughts. Actually, no, I take that back. It did come back. What's been your like thing that you'll take away from being a Special Olympics athlete besides like, you know, meeting new people and stuff like that?
Sam Livingston might have a question that'll stump me.
Oh, right. Finally, someone stumps you.
And just to let you guys know, this is rare that Sam ever stumps me. This is rare. But I would take away from it being a better athlete, knowing that I can do a sport that I love without it being judged.
And what would you be doing if you didn't do Special Olympics? What would you be doing like right now, personally?
Nothing. Working. Eating junk food. Getting fat. Going to work.
You wouldn't have met all of us.
Just doing normal stuff. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I wouldn't be on the lovely AIC, Adam Hayes. Hint, hint.
He's not on here tonight.
On the call.
Now, for people that don't know what that is, can you explain what that is?
What is? Oh, AIC? Okay.
Yes, the AIC.
So
I forgot for a second.
Yeah. So Sam, myself, and
Elena and David are on it as well.
Yeah. So it's basically the Athlete Input Council. So basically what we do is what Adam Hayes said, I believe, Wednesday night, is that we basically take issues from you all from the call and basically bring it up in meetings. So basically, if you guys have a complaint or an issue, you would find your athlete input council representative, which if it would have been Sam, if it would have been me, if it would have been Elena, if it would be David, if it would be Quintana, if it would be Adam, if it would be Quintana.
Justin.
I'm not going to go through the list. Yeah, Justin, Stacy. So basically, we're the voice for you all. So basically, if you guys have any issues or concerns, you all would come to us or whoever your athlete leader at that time and bring it to them, and they'll bring it to us, and basically we discuss it, and we basically put it into action. We actually have action, Sam, what is it? Action item. There you go.
Action plans. I call them action plans.
Yeah, action plans, action items, and meetings. So basically that's what it is. We're the representation of you all.
So if there was an athlete that wanted to become involved with the AIC, what would your advice to them be?
We need as much athlete representation as we can get, because yes, Special Olympics does we represent athletes really well, but we need more representation, because right now we're small. So my goal for Special Olympics would be to make it bigger than the 8,700 and whatever many athletes we have. I want to.
Jim, you hear that?
And why is it important? Why is it important to have that athlete representation?
Because to me, I really didn't have an outlet until Special Olympics came around. You know, and this basically, like, meeting you was an awesome experience. I got to introduce you at Summer Games, which was awesome. And then we became friends from there. So, you know, with Adam, with Sam and I hosting Summer Games, which was awesome, by the way. They're still talking about it. So yeah, so basically just come join the family, come join the dysfunctional family, and we include everybody. Choose to include.
Well, I think that's a great way to end the questions before we send it back over to Jim to close out the night.
Yep.
RJ, thank you. Monique, great job. Thank you. I'm going to go a little off script here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'll pretend I can't.
Yes.
I am going to
Sam,
go.
you did that all night. Stop it.
I'm going to go a little off script here because Monique's mom has joined us, and I'd like to invite Monique's mom to just share with us.
She's not going to talk.
I'm going to see if
She's already unmuted.
I'm going to try to get her to, because here's the thing. I've gotten a chance to meet Monique and Monique's mom, and you're right, Monique. Your mom, she wants you front on everything. She's
right.
a unbelievable woman. But what I want to ask Mrs. Matthews is, what has Special Olympics meant to you for Monique to be able to participate and be a part of what we do and be such a great leader?
Special Olympics means a lot to me, as far as having Monique active with people, with peers that are on her level, and with leaders that are there for each one of them, where you can send your adult or young person out with these leaders, with these athletes, and not have to worry about them. They're in a safe environment. And before Monique got into Special Olympics, she literally did nothing but look at TV and eat, you know. And I always wanted her to be active in something, and it took us a long time to get involved, because every year we missed out on the registration for Special Olympics. So Monique didn't get into it actually until she was an adult. but the past few years that she has been in it, she has really excelled, and I am very, very proud of her.
You're not the only one for being from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Ma.
And we're very proud of Monique too. So thank you for sharing that. I know Monique was right. We don't get a lot of work out of it because you want her to be the voice, but I appreciate you.
That was a lot.
Monique,
Yeah.
so one last question before we wrap this up. Can you describe the feeling that you have when a member from law enforcement puts an award around your neck?
I've been doing it, I'll say 8 years. Every year I get this emotion where I feel like the law enforcement is actually becoming part of our family. I actually friended one of the LETR Flame of Hope people today. So it's like one big family. Her name is Tony Hamilton, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she's awesome.
it's just a big family. Yeah, it's a family. It's a big real. Oh, Elena said it perfectly. We're one big dysfunctional family, and it feels like the law enforcement just adds to, I won't say the dysfunction part of it, but the family part of it. And it just makes me feel very proud to actually be an Olympian. I don't like using the word special because everybody's special, and just the way I look at the word special, everybody's unique and different in their own way. So we're not special Olympians, we are Olympians. Think about it that way, guys. We're just a different form.
Awesome. Well, Monique, thank you. You did a good job both with your pre-recorded presentation as well as answering all the questions. I am proud to call you my friend. So thanks for being on here tonight and doing this with us. I really appreciate it.
You as well.
RJ, thank you for serving as our MC, and thank you, Sam, for being a moderator.
Anytime, Chief.
Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. When we started this, we had a goal to reach $50,000. We've reestablished a goal to hit 75. We're lagging a little bit behind that. We're also lagging behind on the miles. So athletes, I'm calling on you to use your social media, spread the word. Let's see if we can raise $21,000 here over the next couple of days. It's still not too late to sign up. You can go to our virtual website, and you can also support Monique. Monique is on the board here.
I'm on the board. Okay.
Well, wait a second. I thought this has not been updated, so I apologize. I think we do have a donation of $30, Monique. So this is my bad. I apologize.
Jim, refresh that page.
Refresh the page, Jim.
How do I refresh the page?
There you go.
All right.
Okay, pull it up.
You got 52. 52.
There we go.
53.
All right.
That's during tonight too.
Yep.
Right. So we're gonna wrap it up. But just a reminder, we've got our LETR dance party tomorrow evening. I understand that Chris Stone is not going to be able to be our DJ. So originally he was scheduled to do that, but we're working on.
It's Matt DiGillo from Montgomery County that's doing it.
Awesome. Sam has late breaking news. All right. So look, everybody, this has been a great week of featured athletes. Monique, you did a great job of wrapping it up for us. I'm very glad you're a part of our Special Olympics Maryland family. You're a great ambassador. So thanks for wrapping it up. Great job with yours. I think Anu was on. Anu did great. You guys are great athlete ambassadors. Again, RJ and Sam, great job emceeing and moderating, and all our other athletes who are on. Thank you guys for joining us each night this week. It's great to have you. And let's go raise some more money. And we'll look forward to come out of COVID. Tomorrow, we've got a flag football competition up in Frederick. We're going to do a little closing ceremony. So stay tuned to Facebook for that. We'll post that tomorrow at some point. Just a great job, athletes. And I hope everybody goes and has a great weekend.
All
Thank
right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Sign off.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, RJ. The president and CEO, thank you so much for having me. Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody. And Tim Gowan, good job, bud. Way to go. You made it over 3,000. I'm proud of you. Way to go.
Wow. Congratulations, Sam.
All right. I'll unmute you, Tim.
To thank you. It was a great pleasure to meet you all.
All right, Tim. Good job. You're going to run tomorrow?
Yes, I am.
All right. I'll look forward to that video.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night and God
Night,
bless you.
guys.
David Godoy, good night. Good to see you, buddy. Willie, good night. Daniel Larimore, good night. Danielle Marino, good night. Joe Wu, good night. Monique, good night. Miss Matthews, good night. Natasha Moulton Levy, good night. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.
Take care now.